This is the Star Trek Void, Volume 47, and this is where I try to fill in the gaps between new episodes with some news, some information, and hopefully a bit of entertainment. And thankfully, our actors are very entertaining. So I'm going to just talk about them here at first as we go over some of our most recent birthdays. And first off, we're going to wish a very happy birthday to John Billingsley. Happy birthday to John Billingsley, the charming and unpredictable Dr. Phlox on Star Trek Enterprise. He also co-starred with fellow Trek Dr. Robert Picardo in an episode of The Orville without the pufferfish-like smile. John Billingsley. Okay, I do have a really small story about John. When I was at Star Trek Las Vegas last year, here is a hot tip if you ever go to Star Trek Las Vegas. When the day is over, change, get comfy, and hang out at either Jimmy's Place or at the bars down in the Rio, because there's an open bar right next to the slot machines. Well, they're all next to slot machines, but there's a circular bar, and then there's another bar that's kind of hidden in the back. And that is where you want to go. That is where often some stars will go and hang out and get themselves a drink, mingle with the crowd, talk to us lowly fans. And I got to chat with John Billingsley for like 5-10 minutes. Well, it wasn't me. It was a whole bunch of us just having a little chat. But I was, this close to him. It was really cool. And that's how you have fun at conventions. You go find out where the stars hang out after the convention. Mingle. Next up, we have a very happy birthday. Oh, and these are TrekMovie.com, of course. Happy birthday to David Ajala, who plays Cleveland Book Booker on Star Trek Discovery. Fingers crossed he shows up in the Starfleet Academy show from time to time. Ooh, I wouldn't hate that at all. I've really enjoyed his character. I'm almost sad that he wasn't introduced till the third season, because I would have enjoyed having more of him. And I've really just enjoyed his relationship with Michael. I think we've been able to see a side of her that we wouldn't normally get to see in, well, most of our captains, really. And so, yeah, it's been really a pleasure to have him be part of the Star Trek family. And he's on my list for autographs, but I think I'm going to have a limited amount of money, and I may just have to limit myself to the people who will be on Legacy, which thankfully I already have a couple of. And we have a happy birthday to Jane Weedlin. Happy birthday to Go Jane Weedlin, a huge Star Trek fan who begged for a chance to appear in Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, and got to be directed by Leonard Nimoy. Oh, how cool. She'd had a crush on Spock since she was 8. I'm the same with Sulu. It's all right. We all have a little something going on with our original Trek people. So a very happy birthday to Jane Lucky Duck. And this next one, not a birthday, but a bit of an anniversary as of May 15th. And this one is shared by Adam Nimoy. On this day in 1975, Star Trek, the animated series with Leonard Nimoy as the voice of Spock, won Star Trek's first Emmy Award. The series briefly returned to television in the mid-1980s on the children's cable network Nickelodeon. That's where I saw it, because in 75 I was an infant. And again on Sci-Fi Channel in the mid-90s, which I think is where some of my kids may have seen it, because it wasn't on Nickelodeon anymore. So yeah, I personally loved the animated series when I was a kid. On, again, Nickelodeon. It's odd because the series was marketed for kids, or marketed towards kids, but the themes in it for the time, a lot of them were a little more adult. I'm really surprised that it got away with as much as it did, considering the audience, but I'm really excited that it did so well. And bam, first Emmy, well done. And since we're handing out awards, this one is as of May 9th. So this has been out for more than a week and a half, but it is worth sharing from the Peabody Awards. Any culture critic or media scholar would tell you that Star Trek, as an enterprise, pun mildly intended, helped invent a model for freedom through its faithful following originating in the 1960s. The original sci-fi television series broke new ground for its diverse cast and unapologetically progressive values like exploration over colonialism and cooperation over violence. For its enduring dedication to storytelling that projects the best of humanity into the distant future, the Star Trek franchise is honored with the Peabody Institutional Award. And to read more, I will share this link with you. That That's awesome. Doesn't that just make you feel good about being a Trekkie? Now, I'm happy to say that I grew up in a family that we respected each other, diversity. We just grew up that way for the most part. There's only so much cultural exposure you can get in Indiana, but what we could, we did. And I think a lot of that came from the television series that were on in our house. We would watch science shows, we would watch science fiction shows. How good could our future be? And while my parents obviously tried to raise me to be a decent person that would fit into a future like that, I think the continued growth of Star Trek over the decades as they've reinvented themselves and progressed themselves as well has helped me grow even as an adult, because again, I'm in Indiana and the exposure to other cultures and other ways of thinking isn't always easy to get. And I get that a lot from Star Trek. So I think this Peabody Award is extremely deserving. At least for me personally, I can see exactly why Star Trek has earned it. Switching gears one more time here. If you've been missing Dominic, Keating, and Connor Trinneer because you used to watch the Shuttle Pod show and you just can't find them anymore because first Dom left and then Connor also left, and the Shuttle Pod show is still there, but Connor isn't, and neither is Dominic. And quite frankly, they are two fun fellas, and I really enjoyed watching them host a show. Thankfully, they left and apparently and are back, but with a brand new show. Still easy to find on YouTube, but we can see here, this is posted, shared by Joshua Reeve, good friend to Star Trek Legacy people, and shared by A.G. Fuhrman. Hope that I came close to that. Star Trek fans retweet this for the newest podcast. So I should probably do that real quick. I read it 3 or 4 times, didn't actually repost it. Now we're reposted. The Decon Chamber podcast. The Decon Chamber with Connor Trinneer and I, Domino, which is, of course, Dominic. Their very first guest is William Shatner. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And, of course, we've got a link so you can get right to that video if you so choose to watch. It will be below. I have yet to go watch this. I was setting this up today and I haven't had a chance to go watch it. So go watch it. We can figure out, do we like their new show? I really enjoyed the Shuttle Pod show with them. So it'll be interesting to see how it's changed. Well, I'll go take a look at that. You do the same. I think I mostly like the concept that it was the Shuttle Pod, because that is still one of the best episodes in Star Trek as far as the gotta do the cheap show. Keep costs down. Great storyline, super fun, and nothing better than drunk Dominic, to be honest. Well, drunk Reed. And that's my final piece of information for this video. Please do like it if you've enjoyed the content. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you didn't get enough Star Trek, I've got more videos you can choose at the end of the video. To my members and patrons, thanks so much for joining me and helping me out that bit. To everyone, thanks so much for viewing. I do appreciate that you came by. I'm doing my best to try and come up with as much revenue as I can for this channel to help pay for the conventions that I'm going to go to. And now my daughter would like to go to one other one, and that's in Chicago. So maybe we'll see Todd Stashwick, if you're not sure. That's Captain Shaw to you and me. Now, if you didn't get enough Star Trek news and information, don't worry, I have more videos, and you can go check those out. There'll be a couple listed here at the end of this video. And if you do choose one, well then, as always, you know what? I'll see you there.